I should say that I'm on there live, and yeah. So I'm not quite sure if I should talk about my journey of domain-driven design or if I should vent on just working with people. I'm not sure which one. Maybe I'll do both in this video. Maybe the prelude, or for lack of a better term, will be me open mic venting, and then maybe I'll um, start writing some code and doing a little code kata. So like, uh, maybe I'm a prima donna, right? When I was on Developer on Fire, there's an episode, am I a prima donna? And translated, like, there's just certain things that I know I have to have in order for me to deliver value the way that I want to. And I'm just very on it. I have to have my own sandbox so I can see something from start to finish. I remember when I was interviewing Mark Seaman a couple years ago on my YouTube channel. I was kind of like curious how he deals with team environments, and does he also experience project managers or tech leads just throwing him in a project arbitrarily, thinking that he's just, another hand in the code base. He said, from what I recall, that he usually does well by advocating if he could have a section of the code base that essentially can serve as a bounded context that he can pretty much isolate and knock it out. I remember him saying something to that effect. And it's the same thing with me. Majority of the time, all the time, right? If I'm not spearheading a project, all the time, when I see a solution, that solution can be 1 week old, right? It's always a monolith. Everything is always a monolith. By default, there's always one library with hella folders all over the place, and developers scrambling, modifying, stepping on each other's toes, so many cooks in the kitchen. And like, that's just not the way I do things. I'm all about isolation, self-containment, and plugging in modules, or should I say adapting a system to a module, right? That is, again, self-contained. And it's like, I just wish, I don't want this to come off arrogant, but I don't care. I wish professional developers, I wish people that led projects, I wish people that manage projects actually sought industry techniques versus a company's techniques, and that they actually knew what alternatives there are for building out solutions versus by default stamping out the same solution or file structure every single time and consistently always running into the same issues. Like, if I can't own a module of a system, I'm not going to do well, man. I'm not. I don't do well modifying files that other programmers are modifying at the same time. Like, that stuff is just backwards. I don't do well, man. I, if I can't spearhead an entire project, then I need to at least have a module that I can own where I have my vision, I have my design, I can just do type driven development, then test driven development to solidify my vision of the function types that are going to serve as the main operations of that particular module, and just iterate, test, finish modeling that particular domain, adapt it to a UI, adapt it to a back end. That's it. I think my biggest flaw is I take my work personal, and well, majority of my time while I'm conscious, while I'm awake, is focused on, well, survival, making money, and hopefully in parallel making the impact at the same time. And like, I don't know, life is short, man. And like, I don't have a job. I have a personal practice. I'm a freaking doctor, a lawyer. I got my own private practice, you know what I mean? And it's like, I just don't think a lot of shops understand that. They hire they hire mediocre developers that they just want a job. They keep their head down and they're just code monkeys. I'm not built that way, man. Like, I care about what I do. I'm not a code monkey, man. I'm a collaborator and or AKA partner. Like, I'm really interested in what I do, right? I don't just hit the keyboard. I like thinking things out and I like admiring design and solutions. I don't work in a zoo where developers are scrambling everywhere, everybody's modifying everything. Everything that I do, for the most part, requires structure and discipline. And I just think a lot of shops don't understand that, or maybe the shops that I attract don't understand that. And then I feel like I'm not empowered to create the environment that I need to thrive. I it just gets annoying, man. I look at I'm not really into sports all that much, but I just know that, coming from Cleveland, observing the career of LeBron James, like, they sought him out based on not what he was actually doing, but in addition to what he was doing, his potential and his habits, his practices, right? They were looking at his past, his present, and his what felt like an unlimited future. And what the Cleveland Cavaliers did is they made him their centerpiece, and they built the infrastructure around him. They built the team around him. He was the centerpiece, and he demonstrated that he had the drive and he was going in the right direction, and they complimented him. He called the shots, right? And of course, he's a superstar. And I can't help but think that if you would have just thrown him in any type of environment where he wasn't really set up for success to really exercise his potential, would he surpass the hype that he did when he entered the league? With emphasis on surpass the hype when he entered the league. And I don't think so. I think that it's important that you have an environment where you can really do your thing, right? And I mean, I can't really compare myself to LeBron, right? He's orders of magnitude better in what he does. I just practice a lot to get to that point. But when I work with other people, maybe because I tend to focus a lot on the people that I admire, and I always compare myself to them, and I'm always behind. They're always light years ahead of me. The people that I admire, that I'm always pursuing the latest podcast that they're on, some of the questions that they answer, those people aren't normal. Those people are superstars in my industry. And I don't know, it's kind of interesting how much I've developed, as well as how frustrated I get when I work with normal people that don't care to follow or learn the techniques of superstars in our industry. The people that have their own private practice, continuous learning, and really taking retrospectives to observe, to blog about, to create videos on, to give conference talks on what is working for them and what hasn't been working and what alterations they can make to the system, if any. And it's just continuous improvement, man. And I've been trying really hard to do the same thing. But anytime that I enter someone else's business of crafting software, and they're not really crafting software. They just have relationships with people that are willing to pay money for software. I feel like the majority of the time always get stuck fighting the same battles, fighting to do the right thing. Um, and it just becomes tiring, exhausting. And that's what I'm going through now. So I if it's not a hell yeah, then why do it? That's my philosophy. Like, time is something you don't get back. And, I could be what's the word I'm looking for lack of a better term, accused of being a whiner or a complainer, but I don't think so. It's more of like I just want to do good work, man, and I want to be able to have no excuses for why what I'm working on isn't being delivered. I don't want to have excuses for why anything that I have the responsibility of delivering hasn't been delivered with the expected quality that it should have. I don't want those excuses, but I find myself consistently when I'm working for just quote unquote normal companies, an environment where it's so easy to have those excuses. And it just frustrates me because I just want to own what I do. I want to own it. I don't want to work off of people's ill-conceived architectures or designs that they just cookie cut because Visual Studio provides it out the box, or the IDE provides the solution file hierarchy out the box, and they just use that. I don't want to deal with, in order to clean up code and make it better, I have to do a pull request to do it. Like, that stuff just doesn't make sense to me, man. It doesn't. But I suck as a business person. I feel like I'm hella technical, but when it comes to like really attracting my own clients that are willing to pay a premium, um, I'm good at programming, I think, but I'm not good at like the presentation and the polish of people that would take your business seriously and ask for your help and your guidance, right? Like videos and graphic design and all that presentation and polish, and I suck at it just because I don't have the time to learn it. I don't. And I think that's probably one of the major factors in why I attract what I attract in business, is because I think I lack that professional polish of demonstrating that I can help, uh, demonstrating that I can help people make hella money or help people save a lot of money. Yeah, man. Yeah. So, I don't know. I should call this video a video, or I could just try to follow the syllabus of this video: domain driven design, brain dump. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm getting frustrated. I fucking hate this industry, man. So let me see. Present to everyone. And if I throw up Visual Studio, and that's Visual Studio right there. I don't know what I want to create. I'll do a little brain dump of my current understanding of my current practice of domain driven design. I'm depressed now. What do I want to call this? Last video, I was trying to use Visual Studio 2019 and ran into a bug that was a showstopper. And I submitted the bug, and they said it works as designed. I'm like, all right, well, good luck with that. I didn't buy that to them, but they told me it works as designed, which for me was pretty much unusable once I ran into it. So I'm back on Visual Studio 2017, right? Where I don't get that bug. All right, so ah, what do I want to? Oh yeah. So I'm thinking about exploring other channels of income, right? And I'm thinking about like my dream Amazon service. Okay. And I mean, I really don't have this planned out. I'm just putting out some random idea, but I am strongly considering selling on Amazon. I need to make money, right? And I don't like giving my power to employers to do so. Like, I like having channels of income, right? Whether it's the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ exchange, or being a seller on Amazon. I'm not allowed to sell drugs because then the feds will kick in my door and they'll lock me up. So I can't do that. But any other legal means of automating income, I'm all about, you know. So like, oh, we got this My Dream Amazon service, okay, and what is that really? Oh, I don't know yet, but there's probably a module that we'll call operations. Yes. Okay. And maybe I should name this library.fs operations. Yes. Okay. And what else, Willis? Well, I would say that for my dream Amazon service, as a boom boom, come here. This is something I haven't really done before, and I'll probably delete it as soon as I do it. But I would say like as a entrepreneur, I can't spell entrepreneur. However you spell that word, yeah. As entrepreneur, um, I want to understand what products are selling on Amazon. Okay, are selling what? Are selling well on Amazon.com. .com pendejo. Okay. So as an entrepreneur, which I don't know how to spell entrepreneur, I want to understand what products are selling well on Amazon. And my OCD is kind of taking advantage of me, and it tells me to Scott, see if you spelled entrepreneur right. And apparently I spelled it wrong. And this is how you spell it right. Okay. So we go back, Willis. And I do that right there. Okay. So now what? Well, as an entrepreneur, I want to understand what products are selling well on Amazon.com. Okay. So that's my mission statement. And so now what? Well, let me define some operations for how to accomplish that if I had my own dream Amazon service. All right. So I say type. And I would say, well, get leading products, or you could say get hottest products. Hottest, I don't know how to spell hottest. Does it have two T's in it? And my OCD says go back to Google and type in hottest, and it has two T's in it. Okay, so now Hooked on Phonics worked for me. Okay, so get hottest products, right? Which probably isn't a good name, but whatever. I'll change it later as I iterate. So get hottest products. What about it, Willis? Well, how are you going to get the hottest products, right? Because maybe you need to have a subscription to get this awesome tool that I'm providing called My Dream Amazon service. So maybe it takes a user. Okay. What else, Willis? Well, a user is requesting hottest products, right? Well, hottest products regarding what? There's so many industries, there's so many sectors of the industry. Like, what exactly are you looking for in regards to hottest products? Is it in cosmetics and beauty? Is it in automotive? Is it in IT? Or is it in uh, home? Is it in gardens? Is it in family planning? Like, is it in adults stuff? Like, what? Right? So you say, okay. So maybe it takes a category, right? Okay, so get hottest products. requires a user, which I could have say authenticated user. Okay, fine. This is important to flesh out, right? We're doing type-driven development, and we're fleshing out our dream API. That's what we're doing, right? So get hottest products, and you say authenticated user, and there's a category, and is there anything else? Um, I don't think so yet. So like say results. And that result, if it's successful, we get the hottest products. Yes. Okay. There's something like that. And that's if it's successful. But if there's any type of errors, because this is like more than likely some type of external service that is IO and it's unsafe, it could experience faults. Well, then there needs to be some type of error description that will provide details. Yeah, like that. Okay, so maybe we have like we identify our operation. That operation is going to identify the parameters that are required to fulfill that operation. And so we have something called authenticated user. Right? So we can say ID equals, and then we could probably we could say ID is of type maybe string or something. Um, for right now, right? What's all this? Oh, gotta put an equal sign maybe. Okay. And then we could, briefly do something for category. And what's category going to be? Well, Willis, category can be maybe a discriminated union, maybe, right? So it could be toys, right? It can be what else? And I said adults. Adult is probably geared towards sexual content. Um, it could be what else? It could be furniture, or I can say home. It could be office. Yeah, good stuff. Like, there's a lot of categories, man. It could be what else, Willis? Recreation. Um, I'll try to think of one more, but I know there's hundreds more, right? Let me look around what I have. And oh yeah, there's apparel. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of things. Um, oh yeah, yeah. And you also have electronics. Okay. Now what? Well, I don't know. Part of me wants to experiment now. So like to me, home and office can be somewhat associated to each other. Okay. Uh toys and adult, those are kind of associated to each other. Children and well, children stuff and then adult stuff. Maybe. I don't know. Just work with me. We have recreation, right? Uh that might that might be able to go up here. And and then you have apparel, electronics, right? Um and recreation could be sports or whatever. We'll just work with this right now. Not sure how you spell apparel. Google, how do you spell apparel? Google, huh? How do you spell apparel? All right, I spelled apparel right. All right. And it says definition close, whatever. Okay. Is there anything else? Nah, I'll keep it like that for right now. Okay. So we have, I don't like it like that. So we have some categories in here. Okay. So now that's fleshed out. And well, it needs to provide us if this service is successful, or should I say this operation is successful, it needs to give us hottest products, right? But it should be hottest product, and that can be a list of hottest product, right? So then I can say over here, I can say type hottest product, something like that. And I can, well, it'll just have an ID for right now of string and what else? You know what? I don't like that. Type user ID equal user ID of string. All right. I want to do things right the first time, like, come here. Okay. And as hottest products, that could be type product equals product. Come here. Of supposed to be product ID. That's what I meant to say. Product ID equals product ID of string, right? All right, that makes me feel a little bit better. Come here, Willis. Something like that. So then your hottest product is going to be something like that. Yeah? Okay. What else, Willis? Well, this error description needs to be filled out. So I could say type error description. I don't know why I just didn't put it on my clipboard. Equals error description. That can be of anything, right? So I'll do something like that. Of okay. Okay. Now what? Well, this thing it wants to know what I'm going to do error description of. All right. Well, I guess this is string. Okay. But error description could also be an error code, which, well, I guess could be a string as well, but it doesn't matter right now. I don't care. All right. So if we go back to our mission statement, right, we say or user story, as an entrepreneur, I want to understand what products are selling well on Amazon.com. All right. So we have this file called operations, but this file has one operation that has a whole bunch of types on it, right? So, like, okay, so let's create another file. Oh, come here, Willis. Create another file. And we'll do language, my language. Come here. Yeah. So we have this module called language. Oh, and we can go ahead and take the terms that we're using, these ubiquitous terms that we're using. Hold on, what just happened? And we can throw that inside of our language file. Oh, come here. Something like that, right? And then we can essentially just open our language like that, language like that. And what's wrong with this module language? Did I spell that right? Open language. And What else do I need to do? If I could do Control Shift B, it's probably not going to do anything because usually it just works. But this is called module operations. Okay. And what did I have over here? It's called module language. So, I mean, it should just work. And it does work. Visual Studio just has a hard time catching up. Okay. All right. So now what, Willis? Well, so far, brainstorming. Brainstorming one of the operations that are core to my dream Amazon service. Okay. What else, Willis? Well, all right. So you get hottest products. It takes authenticated user. It takes a category, and it gives you a hottest products list or error description. Okay. Now what? Well, I would say that we can say, what else would be useful for my dream Amazon service, right? Say type it hottest category. Category. Why is all this not working out right? I'm not sure if get hottest category is something that is of value, but maybe I'll just go with it. It can always get rid of it or deprecate it, right? So that's also going to take an authenticated user, and it's going to take. Well, I don't think it really needs anything else, so I could just say it's going to be result, and it's going to be the hottest category. And that's going to be of a list, right? So now I can go to over here, have a hottest category type, and that would need to be a category ID. Oh, shucks. I feel like things are slowly starting to assemble together. Okay. So we have our category ID. Come here, Willis. And that category ID is going to be, I just did something wrong. Uh, what is all this? This is supposed to be a string. Yeah, that's my bad. Something like that. Okay. And over here, something like that. Okay. Now what, Willis? So get hottest category. Maybe we want, do we want the hottest category or do we want the hottest categories, right? We probably want hottest categories, right? So do that right there and make it plural. And if we want the hottest categories, then we probably want to say the how many, like the top what. So we'll have a top number, right? And this is probably overkill, but I don't know, whatever. So type top number equals, well, that could just be a alias or abbreviation. Did I do that right? And you know what? No, F that. Top number of int. Okay. And I don't understand why I have to consistently build just for this to be recognized. Okay, so I don't know if I don't know if it should be top number or count. I'll leave it top number, okay? For whatever reason, it's not color coded like everything else. So my dream Amazon service has get hottest products, which takes authenticated user category and returns a successful hottest product list. And what just happened? And it's get hottest categories, which also takes authenticated user. Um, the top number, which I can't think of a more descriptive word for that. Uh, I could say count. Maybe I say count. Okay. And that's going to return the hottest category list. Okay. Okay. Is there anything else in my dream Amazon service that, as an entrepreneur, when I'm doing product research, would be very helpful, aka useful for me? And hottest products, get hottest categories. What else? Maybe oh, type get ratings. Not get ratings. Get uh well yeah, get ratings. And then there will also be a get reviews. Right? Get ratings, get reviews, something like that. And if you get ratings, well, all this is going to take a authenticated user. And in this case, ratings of what? Ratings of a product. Okay. And well, is it product or product ID? Uh, I mean, to me, it doesn't matter. I think product ID is more centric to knowing. I think if you put in product ID, that's like kind of like a bleeding like implementation detail that that emphasizes that you're thinking about the database, right? Well, let's just think about the domain. I want to get ratings for what? For a product. All right. I'm not thinking about the database. I'm thinking about the domain. All right. As a user, I want to get the ratings for a product, not for a product ID, right? That's programmer centric. I want to get the ratings for a product. All right. And then that's going to return a result, and it'll be a rating. Is it rating or ratings? Um, well, it'll be ratings, all right, because multiple people can rate that product. And then you can have another function called get average rating if you wanted to do that, which I'll probably add, right? So get rating, plural, ratings, takes an authenticated user and product, and the result is a rating list and a error description. It's going to operate on type string. Okay. So product and rating, these are new, right? So now we have type Well, we already have hottest product in here, right? Um, but I would kind of leave it like that because it's the hottest product. It's not product, it's the hottest product, right? So there's some things I want to do. Keep things that are related together and things that are not related pulled apart. Okay. So now what, Willis? Well, I would say that we need to add a products in here. So you can say type products. Come here, Willis, equals, and this is going to be a record type. It's going to take a product ID, and it's going to be of type product ID. Okay. And that hottest product also takes a, well, that was already a product ID. All right. So let's do that instead. And do that right there. All right. So go back over here. We need to do rating as well. So there's a type rating equals, and then a rating ID, which is going to be of type rating ID right now. You fill in the gaps later. So then we have type rating ID equals rating ID of what? Of string. Yeah, come here. Okay. Now what? Mm, so get ratings takes a authenticated user, a product that you want to get the ratings for, returns a rating list. Now that rating needs to also include a, all right, so things are starting to get fleshed out. Okay. So that rating is going to not only have a rating ID, but it's going to have a product ID. Yes. Or you could just say products. See all this. If I keep saying, well, no, I'll leave it. Uh, product ID. I want it to be product. F that. I'm like, why not? All right. So product. Okay. Now what? What else? Well, you remember this hottest product? Well, maybe I want to call that product as well. Okay. And la 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 la. All right, I think I'm okay for right now. This user ID, okay, that's whatever. Okay. So we get ratings. Said that we probably want to get a average rating. Average rating. It's the same thing, except we just have a rating instead of a rating list. Okay. Now we also have a function for get reviews, and get reviews is probably going to have something very similar to this over here, right? Authenticated user review. All right, what am I doing? Authenticated user product, and then there's going to be a review over here, which hasn't been defined yet. Okay, so then we have to define what a review is, and so I'm going to take this rating over here, and then call this a review, and say that I'm kind of change the order of precedence on here, and you're reviewing a product that it's also useful to have a rating, and there's going to be like a review ID. Okay, hasn't been declared yet. So then for review ID, we have type review ID equals review ID of string. Come here, like that. Okay, and so yeah, something like that. Ah, look how clean it looks, right? So get ratings, get average rating, get reviews. Okay. All this is part of my user story for as an entrepreneur, I want to understand what products are selling well on Amazon.com. Oh. All right. So now we got to get hottest products, get hottest categories, get ratings, get average rating, get reviews. Okay. And all this is based on products that are selling well. And if I review the functions that I have declared that I want for my dream Amazon service, then again, get hottest products, get hottest categories, get ratings, get average rating, get reviews. Is there anything else that I could conjure up that is related to my mission statement, aka user story, for this particular domain? And oh yeah, price, and also returns, right? Like, what's the return rate? Return rate may not. Well, no. Someone can return something, and not necessarily leave a review. Like reviews, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So let's first kind of flesh out reviews. So, like, get reviews. You can say get uh get X star reviews, or you get that's no, I didn't say that. Get reviews on rating. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. All right, and so the get reviews on rating is an authenticated user, a product. All right, and then there's going to be a specific rating, uh, rating score, something like that. what's this rating over here? I have rating like that, but then I'll add a score in here, right? So score, and that'll be a score, right? And then we say, well Willis, what's a score, right? And so then we can probably define the score as, put it over here. Probably define the score as type score equals, and then we can have a one star, or we don't even have to say star, man. We'll say 1, 2, da, 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 da. We'll say 1, 2, 3. Oh, come here. 3, 4, 5. Okay. And I don't know. Can we make this look kind of metadata? I don't know. I mean metadata. Right? Can we do? I don't know. I'm just messing around right now. 1, 2, 3. No, just do this. Call it a day. Okay. So we define a score for our rating. It could be 1 to 5. And if we go back over here, get reviews on rating. So it's not really rating that we want, because the rating requires a rating ID, an actual product, and a score. We really want to do a rating on a product with a score. That right here. So we get reviews on, I would say rating score, because if I say get reviews on score, then I'm not sure if that's really discoverable by users of the API. But if we say get reviews on rating score, then that's a little bit better. Okay. So now what? All right, so that's cool. So as an entrepreneur, I want to understand what products are selling on Amazon or selling well on Amazon.com. And I define get hottest products, get hottest categories, maybe hottest, maybe I could change that to get top products, get top categories. It's shorter. Okay. And then you have get ratings, get average rating, and then get reviews. And then you have get reviews on rating score. And I think that's pretty useful. Is there anything else for wanting to understand what products are selling well? You want to get you want to probably get the price, right? So get top high or get top. What do you want to call it? High selling or get top. I don't know. Costly. What's another word for expensive? Or get most costly products. Get top expensive products, whatever. It doesn't necessarily mean it's expensive. It just means what products cost the most that are selling. So because I just verbalized that, get products cost most. Okay. Get top products cost most. And actually, like all these names should really be get top selling products. But I'm not going to change that. So this get top products cost most, which I don't not like the name of it, but whatever. That is going to take an authenticated user and it's going to probably ask for a category. That would be useful. And honestly, this is going to be this right here. Okay. That's it. So, and I'll say top costly products. And the hottest products can be renamed to top products. Okay. Hottest category can rename to top category. Okay. And yeah. So we have get top costly products, and we need to complement that function for our dream Amazon service with get top uh, inexpensive. Cheap would be easy or would be a shorter word, but also kind of cheap kind of infers low quality. It's just well, we're not necessarily communicating. Okay. So now what? I like this so far, right? So let's review the mission again. Right. This user story. As an entrepreneur, I want to understand what products are selling well on Amazon. And to accomplish that understanding, right, we can get the top products based on the category. We could get the top costly products given a category, top inexpensive products given a category. And maybe because I used the word inexpensive, maybe I should use expensive up here then. Conventions, consistency. Okay. Um, get top categories. Okay. Get ratings for a given product. Get average rating for a given product. Get reviews for a given product. Get reviews on rating score for a given product based on the score, whether it's 1 to 5. Okay. Is there anything else? Is there any other complementing function or operation that will accommodate or use the story of, as an entrepreneur, I want to understand what products are selling well on Amazon.com? We talked about top products, top expensive products, top inexpensive products, top categories, ratings, get the average rating, get reviews. And what is there? We're missing something. You know what we're missing is that the actual amounts, the actual quantity that's been sold, right? And then that's going to be broken down into average per day, average per week, average per month, right? For you to really analyze and be able to make informed business decision. So when you say get top products, this can be of week, of month, of day, right? So yeah, this now domain driven design. Come here. Well, no, we could pass this in as a parameter, right? So it takes an authenticated user, it takes a category, but now we're going to have to pass in a some type of, for lack of a better term, uh, constraint, right? So we could say get the top products based on what frequency or based on what constraint. Um, I don't know what to call it. Well, it'll be a filter ultimately. And there may be different types of filters, right? I'll call this a time filter. So smart. Okay, so over here, I can have a type time filter equals, and then I can have a, I don't need to carry that over. Come here, Willis. I can have a year, month, or year, 6 months, 6 months, 3 months, uh, 1 month, and it could be 2 weeks, week, 3 days, and then, oh, what just happened? Today, today, And I think that should be it, right? So then this could probably be broken down to boom, 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 boom. Something like that. Okay. So that's our time filter for getting top products. And then we'll just, that time filter can be applied for all these items. Uh, uh, and uh, and over here, get ratings, get average rating, get reviews. Time filter is important for everything because things could change over time. People's understanding of a product could change over time. The quality of a product can change over time, which I think would result in a different model of the product. But yeah, I mean, something like that. Yeah, this time filter is applied towards everything. Okay. I like it. All right. So let's go back to our mission statement. As an entrepreneur, I want to understand what products are selling on Amazon.com. Okay. We did all that. We added a time filter for measuring the, for lack of a better term, the top selling products, top categories, ratings, average rating, get reviews on rating score. And is there anything else? Discuss reviews, discuss the price, expensive, inexpensive. Um, yeah, this probably needs to be applied towards the same thing for categories. Well, maybe not. I'll take that back. I think this is cool for right now. So there's 3, 4, 7. There's 8 different operations that have been identified for my dream Amazon service. I think they're all relevant. They're very likely to change, right? The function signature of these operations. But yeah, I think I think this is good, right? And so this is the specification. And so what that means is I could probably change this to what do you want to change this to? The only thing I want to say is this categories kind of sticks out. I feel like it doesn't necessarily belong to this particular domain because this domain is really all about the product, right? Product, 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 uh, product, 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 product. Get top categories has nothing really to do with product. And so it doesn't, I don't think it really goes here. I don't think it goes here. It it may be a category service, but I don't think it's a product service. So the name of this library I would call product service dot specification. Okay. And what else? There could be like a category service specification. Yeah, like you know what? Like honestly, I just don't think that this is relevant. Top category, I'm getting rid of. Is there anything else in here? Nope. This is it. Okay. So these are the operations for this product service specification. And this is essentially a compilable spec, a compilable specification for a product service that if I were to build a Amazon.com tool for product discovery so that I can make decisions on what products I want to buy based on what's selling, this would be the foundation for right now. And this is a compilable spec, right? The next stage would be to this stage was doing type driven development. The next stage would be to iterate on this current design that was fleshed out using type driven development by using test driven development. And so I would essentially have a something like a product I would have something like this, like product service, and I would throw. I don't even need the product service folder. I would add another project in here, and I would call this product service tests. And I think that needs to be like, what is it? Was it a .NET framework that this needs to be in order for it to actually work? I think so. And so I would have a product service. It should be product services tests. And over here, I would change the name over here to product services specification. Okay. And I want to make sure that my assembly name is the same thing, and it is. Okay. And that was done using Alt F4. And get rid of you. And this library one, I could do in this case, it would be, I don't know, maybe some controller. I don't even have to think about a controller. That's the implementation detail of web. Shouldn't care about that right now. I should be focusing on logic. But I would call this I'll just call this file service. And this product services.test will reference the product services.specification, and then I would add some NuGet packages that I'll need for actual testing. So I'll do fs unit, and I would also add in unit on here after this installs. I'm not sure what this is about, this error, but I would also add in unit, and apparently that's installed already. Okay, so then I'll add a test runner in unit 3 test adapter. And that appears to be installed. And over here, I would have a come here. I would have a module service, and then I would have a hold up, how do I do this? First, open fs unit, and then I would second open in unit dot framework, and then over here I'll have an attribute called test, and then I would have a let, and then some test. Okay, and that's going to return the unit, or that's going to accept the unit as a parameter, and I would say equal, and then there will be some type of setup and some type of test, some type of verify, and assert dot fail. Okay, and for right now, this test can be spell service wrong. For right now, this test can be ignored. Something like that. Control Shift B to build. And hopefully everything should build. Everything does build. And so then there's operations in here that I would start building out. So then there would be a open operations, and it should really be called product services dot operations. Product services dot operations. And I wonder if it'll actually let me use that name, or is it going to complain because product services is the name of the assembly. So if I Control Shift B on that, assembly reference something was invalid. What's this other one? I'm not sure why this isn't. Let me see. That built. I have a red squiggly, but it built. Not sure why I still have a red squiggly. Control Shift B again. Says everything's up to date. If I close that file, I'll close this file and build again. And if I attempt to reopen the file, then I don't have a. That's weird. This is not the. If I rebuild everything, everything builds. It just gives me this stupid red squiggly. What I usually do when I run into issues like that is I'll go into File Explorer. I'll delete this VS file, this hidden .vs file. First, I'll close this. And then I'll delete that .vs file. And then I'll reopen this solution. It might take a little longer because I just deleted what I think is like cache values, which wasn't that much because it was a brand new project for the most part. So now if I double click the service and then I do Control Shift B, am I still going to see a red squiggly? I don't see a red squiggly. Okay. And so I think I'm just going to end it right here. But this is pretty much the beginning of a framework for testing out or creating a test that just serves as a proof of concept for the services that I want to build that I've fleshed out using type-driven development. And now the second phase is test-driven development. And the third phase is integration and building out a back end and blah, blah. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have the energy in me right now to keep going. So in this video, I vented / ranted for about 10 minutes on the state of my career, and unfortunately, I consult versus actually building a product and not having to depend on employers that force me to work with their employees to deliver software. So I vented on that, and then I attempted to demonstrate domain-driven design techniques as I continue to practice and get better at how I design and build out systems. So I'm done, man. I'm tapping out. It's like 6:15, and I got to start work soon. So peace, adios, bye.